As you can see, the sump has been installed and it's been up and running for 2 days. And I'll go through and tell you some of the things that I like about it, and maybe even some of the things I'm thinking about changing already. Alright everybody, as you can see, I kind of really designed this thing to take use of every possible corner and crevice. So back here you can see my two overflow pipes, and one is a fairly simple overflow pipe. It's just a straight shot over. The second one is a little bit trickier. You can see it comes to the front of the aquarium and up and hides right behind there. It then progresses back and down, and that's the one with the gate valve on it. Now everything is below the return, so I'm not having any interruption in flow because of that unique plumbing job I did. But the one thing that it does do, much better than my last one did, was I have no obstruction to get my skimmer cup out, which was one of the things I hated about my last sump. Another interesting item here is that, as you guys know, I said I wanted to try filter socks with this sump, and it has been running for 2 days. And if you look, here is the cover for this filter sock area, and I just want to show this to you. These socks have been in there for just over a day. And I could not believe how dirty they were for being in there just over a day. I'm actually going to take and swap these out right now, but it just blew my mind how much dirt and debris and fish poop was trapped in these guys. So I think I'm incredibly impressed with the filter socks. I do realize now that I'm going to have to change them quite often, but I'm hoping that because my sump was down for a couple of days, that will start to dissipate. Sorry, I got a shot of my feet there. So as we discussed in the design, we've got the skimmer section here, and both heaters are in the skimmer section. They're currently off as my apex has decided my tank is too hot. That was something I was playing around with. The cobalt go between 78 and 80. I had them up at 80, but decided I wanted to go back down to 78. So that's why they're off at the moment. And part of that is just in case my tank starts to get hot with the lights, I have a little cushion. Here's section 3 here, the probes that I've set up so far. As you can see, my salinity probe is right there. I need to go buy Saltwater Junkies tomorrow. There you go, guys, that's a free plug. And pick up a calibration solution, and then I will be ready to get the salinity probe going. Alright, here we are at the second section, the first stage of that second section. This is what I wanted more than anything, was a nice quick refugium. As you can see though, I've already made one change, and that has to do with these two 90s that are turned up. Originally, I didn't have any plumbing fixtures on those baffles, but when I got that new Ventra M1 pump that I wanted so badly, it had about double the flow as my old Blue Line 70 pump. So I had water coming into the refugium too quickly. I didn't want to interrupt the water flow, but I didn't want to disturb the Miracle Mud either. So I decided to put these two 90s on, and it did give me a side benefit of having quite a bit of water movement there at the surface. I'm excited about that because one, it's going to help oxygenate the water, and two, it's going to help with evaporation. As you know, I live here in Arizona, and I don't mind the extra evaporation as it avoids me having to get a chiller. You'll also notice back there in the corner, I have an MP10. This is one that I got from someone on the Reef forum and was able to repair. I got that for two reasons. One, to really help increase the flow in this section. In case I have a hot day, I've got the apex scheduled to turn that on and really get the water movement going in this section. And two, I thought I might tinker around with keeping a couple coral frags in here, and I wanted to have enough movement of water to make even the SPS happy. Obviously, I'd have to get a new light. This eShops light's not going to cut the mustard, as it were, for that. But for now, it'll be good. And in the next installment of this video, which will probably be a month or so down the road, I'll show you the sump all set up and what I finally ended up doing. Here we are at the last section. You'll see nothing too exciting here. I decided to park my carbon reactor in here, and there's enough room for a GFO reactor as well, but I'm not sure if I'm going to just use one reactor and combine the two, or do two separate reactors. Just kind of depends on how things behave over the next month or so. You'll see I have all my dosing ports there, but you'll notice that no lines are connected to them yet. Well, that is because, as you can see, there's the other end of my stand, and there's just no room for a pop-off container like I used to have or anything else. But here we go, and there she is. You can see the nice new Vetra M1 pump. It's going to go up, over, and then it tees off right there and right there, and goes back up into the top of the display. Alright, that concludes the installation of the split sump. We'll give you an update in a month when the refugium has matured, and I'll show you where I hid the auto top off and some of the other equipment. But in the meantime, I will close tonight's video with a couple of shots of the fish in the tank. Hope you guys have a great night and Happy New Year.